Let there be light. We're ready to kick off conference play here inside of Mole Arena. CU, who has a few conference championships to their name, looks to add another here in 2025, and the road back to it starts tonight. 22 combined conference titles since that 97 season, and we begin WAC tournament play here on Pack the House night at CU as they win the ball and we're underway. Cornerstone in those home whites here tonight, blue numbers, that gold trim around the outside. Siena Heights in their final season as a program. Coming into Grand Rapids, Mora finds an opening and finds the bottom. Good start. Mora sprays it home and a 3-0 lead for CU out of the gate. Siena Heights 2-1 on this early season. Took care of East-West their last time out. They have not played a game in conference yet. This their first. They work it around the three-point lines. Not a good three-point shooting team, but this is the man we're looking at. Rajic. It's been unbelievably exceptional for them in the early season. Around the horn they go. And a shot clock violation. Lost track of how much time they had in part of packing the house here tonight. You're not going to be able to hear that countdown nearly as well across the way. Have to be fully aware Cornerstone can double their lead on this possession. 1-3, fresh off of 2 straight losses. Bird trying to fight his way loose. Averaging over 21, Mora. Ooh, what a find! And Schultz elevates and detonates. That brings the crowd to their feet. Sobosh. Rajic considers a straightaway 3. Now drives on Nichols and kisses it in. Face to face, takes it through Nichols and Mora. Run into the front court. CU 2 for the first 2 possessions. Mora off the screen, finds Schultz to Nichols, who had a look straight away, but doesn't end up pulling the trigger on it. Mora looking back door. Now Stewart takes it baseline. Little Euro, and it's jarred free. Sobush, quick with the hands. Siena Heights in those gray unis, that striped pattern along the outside and the blue numbers, the blue trim around the shoulders. Schultz takes the bump. Schultz rips it back. Good defense from Levi. That's an area that they need him to stand tall in. Andy Mora into the front court. Up and down action to begin this first half. Nate Wangler with you solo here tonight. As Mora drives to his right and has it sent back, but Nichols there as his second try won't go. Now Mora getting tied up down low. Rajic nearly took his arm out that time. Pull up Jay, back iron. Nichols, now Stewart, ooh, dances through some pressure. Stewart a Euro. Out to Bird. Looks at a 3, but they're able to close out quickly enough as Nichols turns the ball over. Now a run the other way. Rajic and Mora ends up hooking up. Tester on his way to the bucket, and he'll send him to the line for 2. Hard foul early in this one. They can slice it to 1 at the line. Just underway here in this first half. Joe Pachota, head coach of the Siena Heights team, into his final season here. You know, and typically every year you have your senior night as the first one's off the line from Tester. And they have a few of those, Tester being one of them, but it's kind of like everybody's senior year. One last time in a Siena Heights uni. Schultz inbounds it after the second made free throw. Lead is 2 for CU. Andy Mora, as Bird continues to try and fight his way to get open. They understand who to cover up in this game. Nichols, hook shot, no. Karam's off the back iron. Pushing the tempo again, Rainey. Stopped in the corners, Blake Stewart's face up on him. Rajic, off to his left, it's Tester, testing the middle, and he had a piece, did Nichols. Got a fingertip on it, Mora. Stewart, midi, is true. 7-3, lead is 4 for CU, up to 2 possessions. Cornerstone has struggled in one area in particular. They've allowed a sky-high shooting percentage on the other end. Second highest in the conference as Rajic spins one home. Takes it on the midi along the baseline, 7-5, and Andy Mora will tiptoe his way into the front court. But it has been a struggle on defense, not something you're used to seeing from Coach E-led teams. Schultz out of bounds. Wasn't watching that back foot, steps on the line. Siena Heights can tie it on this trip down the floor. And pack the house night here tonight. Again, I don't think Cornerstone could have asked for a better response from the community. Trying to raise money for starving families. Rajic continues a three. Works it inside. Rainey on Mora. Too easy, rips that one up and in. We're back to tie it at 7. Trenton Boyke in the front court. Looks for the reverse layup, and he steps out of bounds. Rajic pressures him, and back to Siena Heights. The tie ball game at 7. On the other side, waiting to see if we're going to see Joshua Wilson here tonight. He's been one of the best shooters in the conference this season. Ooh, and Mora gets a shoulder. Ooh, Sobush. Yeah, that was a moving screen and then some. Sobush hits the A-gap. He gives it back to Cornerstone. Andy Mora into the front court. We got a tie game, nearly 5 minutes gone in this first half. Stewart drops it off to Nichols, just a step inside that three-point line, who shuffles it off to Stewart. Steps through a screen and fires, free throw line. Rattles around and rattles out. Collected by Tester. Swing it to the opposite side for Rainey. Tries to step through a screen. Rajic a three. Back iron, no good. Andy Mora will pull it down, dead even at 7. Cornerstone trying to take away that option tonight. Stewart. Back out, Schultz straight away. You bet. Ten to 7. The CU takes the lead. You can see just across the way on your TV screens to the response from the student section here tonight. I just got to give a tip of the hat to CU again. Love seeing them respond. Rainey can't give it back. Nichols skies up, pulls it in with one hand as Boyke runs into the front court. Stewart considers taking it baseline. Boyke trying to roll off the screen from Nichols, and said Stewart can't spray it home. There underneath to get the rebound is Sobush. Gives it off to Tester, angles it inside to Rajic, face on face with Joe Nichols. Banging his way inside, now into the corners. They swing it back out to Rainey. Pass Stewart, sent aside. Oh, a full facial. Nichols says none of that. And that sends us to our first media timeout with 13:58 to go until half. Take a seat. We go to break here on the CU Sports Network. Hey. 13:58 to play, first half. We've had some fun already. Siena Heights looking to get this ball in, trying to tie this game back up at 10 apiece. playing with an attitude here tonight. Spinning his way inside, throwing that one up offline as Levi Schultz saves it and then gives it right back to Trenton Boyke. Terrence Partridge, his first attempt tonight. Took the body, did not get the call. That one nearly lands out of bounds. Levi Schultz saved it last second, and then given right back here by Trent Boyke. Here is Joshua Wilson. The aforementioned Joshua Wilson, the junior out of Henry Ford, native of Detroit, Michigan. Right alongside Caden Bird, two of the best shooters in this conference, side by side. Bird will be tasked with guarding him. Gets off his man, gives it back up for a straightaway three that is off the line from Jack Ollis. Trenton Boyke and an off-ball foul. Down low, DeVries fouled this time down the floor by the aforementioned Jack Ollis. Previously at Davenport University, then transferred to Concordia. He's on his third different school here at Siena Heights, but not all his fault. Guarding his former teammate in Mark DeVries tonight. Levi Schultz inside, it's good. Right over top of Ollis, 12-7. Of course, those Concordia players kind of scattered to the wind after last year. Their athletic department went away. Wilson, back up top. Kolatzis gives it up for a three. Too strong. Terrence Partridge off on a second attempt. We got the Chick-fil-A mascot here tonight. Eat more chicken, for sure. Caden Bird just walking around giving high fives. DeVries can't get it on the three. Schultz there to try and tip it up back to himself. We got Chick-fil-A out in the hallway promoting Pack the House here tonight. If you're not here yet, come here. Get yourself a sandwich. 17 seconds on the shot clock. Joshua Wilson looks for a screen, gives it up to Tester, who will test the middle of this defense. Steffen on him. Oh, and a step back. Just enough room to get it up over Steffen. And it slices the lead down to three. It's 12-9. Boyke around the screen. Boyke inside. What a find off the skip. Now you see him, now you don't. Finds DeVries on a nice dish. Lead is 5 for CU. Wilson trying to get going here for Siena Heights. One for their last 7 possessions. Tester, baseline, jarred away by Steffen. Boyke will run. Stops at the three-point line, finds Steffen, off to DeVries, and he's fouled. Tester tried to reach the hand in and got him on the arm. And 2 at the line for DeVries. Struggled in the home opener here at CU. Now playing against his former teammate in Jack Ollis, as he'll take 2 from the stripe. And it's an interesting dynamic about this game with Siena Heights not having an athletic department next year. You know, all these players are going to have to find new homes. First one up and good, 15-9. And actually had a talk with Kyle Steginga a little bit earlier. He was mentioning specifically Joshua Wilson, the product out of Detroit, who's been one of the best shooters in the conference this year, chose Siena Heights over Cornerstone. So now the question becomes, is there an element of that involved? They have to find somewhere to play unless they decide not to play anymore. Of course, they're concerned about right now. Wilson off the handoff. Wilson through the heart of the defense, draws a whistle. Trying to bulldog his way through the heart of that D. Trenton Boyke on the foul. And it stays on that side of the floor with 11:32 until we hit the half. At the women's game a little bit earlier, they ended up falling by 3, did CU. Wilson at the stripe. Said that was in the shooting motion. And he makes the first one 15-10, his first points in this ball game. A disappointing result, though, for Jess Yonkers and that CU women's team. Just could not get any momentum going offensively, but they'll be okay. 0-1 to start their conference play. Lead is 4 for CU. Boyke, a pump from the corner. Straight away to Miles Steffen. Now back to Boyke. Can't bang it home from 3. DeVries shut off down low. Wilson gets it on the handoff. Trying to make it 2 for their last 2 possessions. Wilson a pair on the last time out. Olis angles it inside. DeVries, a denial. Ooh. They're going to say he went over the back of Rosic. Colin Hybor into the game for Cornerstone. Inbound from the baseline coming up. Angle it into Olis. Hand off to Partridge. Bump on Bird and puts it in on the midi. Fade away one-legged, 15-13. CU just 1 for their last 4 tries from the perimeter. This has otherwise been a good 3-point shooting team. Caden Bird trying to fight his way through. And he's the one they're trying to focus on tonight. Gets an opening, fires it on the midi, no good. Hybor nearly jars it free, but Rosic comes down with it. Rosic being awfully handy here tonight. Throws Steffen's arm aside as Wilson will try to tie it or maybe take the lead. Pumps from 3, inside. Rosic knocked away by Hybor. Oh, and then Bird. Oh, didn't see the assist coming his way. Skips out of bounds. The aforementioned Kyle Staginga up to his feet. We're talking about the head coach here for Siena Heights. Obviously, Coach Kim Elders, Hall of Fame head coach, trying to figure out what to do with this young bunch this year. Again, lost 8 players last year to graduation, leaving the program, kind of left a void, but they've been trying to fill it. The 14th season for Joe Pachota. Decade and a half here at Siena Heights. Trying to make one lasting impression. Tester makes an impression on the midi. We're back to 15 all with 10 minutes to go. Mora handoff to Hybor, looking for a screen, gets one from Bird. Back out to Bird. Olis quick on the closeout. They are suffocating on him tonight. Mora in the middle of the key. No, Bird. That's why. It's a Bird strike in his first of the night, 18-15. No relation to Larry Bird, as far as I know. But it kind of looks like him, and he kind of shoots like him too. Hybor on Rosic. Do they have a response? They don't. Kisses off the front of the rim. Andy Mora will search ahead. Handoff. DeVries on a cut. Trying to spin his way inside. Nothing doing there. Has to airmail it back out to the top of the key where it's saved. Bird. He's got another. And that's how quick it can happen. You live by it and you die by it. But when you live by it, sometimes you live large. Bird's been living large this season. Rosic, DeVries on him. Hook shot with the left, won't go. Rosic gets set down. Mora will come the other way. Steffen has it jarred free and out of bounds. It'll stay with CU. Nick Sobush hit out of Wyandotte in 2 opposite colored shoes. I love it. It's a bold statement. 21-15, timeout CU here on the CU Sports Network. Doing a little trivia here tonight on Pack the House night. Bob Wells, the public address announcer at the West Michigan Whitecaps. Trying to get the student section into it. We saw the Dizzy bat race. Although they weren't bats, they were hockey sticks, but you get the point. Seen some other games that we normally see in West Michigan. Of course, this is a big day on campus year after year. It always is. 2 days, 1 mission. Trying to pack meals, starving families in Honduras. Last year they were able to raise over $50,000. The goal is to get back to that point again this year. Again, they have merchandise, have a lot of other things going on tonight. All proceeds go towards packing those lunches and feeding those starving families across the pond. Inside of 9 minutes, 8:37, lead is 6 for CU. Mora hands it off to Highboard before returning it. 11 seconds, Nichols looking to back down. Nichols banging inside, hook shot is true. Takes it up on Kalatzis. Largest lead of the game for CU, it's 8. Oh, then this one thrown nowhere close. Bird in pursuit, gets it in the corner, looks for a shot there, but nothing available. Opposite end Stewart as CU will be forced to recover. Good hustle from Bird on that last one. Mora off the screen, underneath, what a find, and an and 1-2. Mora, a little shimmy shake. Threads the seam, and it's double digits for CU. They can make it 11 at the line. Chick-fil-A mascots got the vibes high. Nichols at the stripe. We talk about centerpieces for the CU team. He's going to have to be one of them. This is a program that has churned out All-American big after All-American big. Looks more of a small ball variety here in 25-26. Nichols can't get there. Good drive. Kalatzis redeeming himself. Now Stewart looks ahead as he drops it back off for Mora. And here we go with the Cornerstone, their lead at 8. Working inside, Nichols, who a little revy, won't go, but gets the ball right back. How that wasn't an over the back, I'm not quite sure. Out of bounds. Sobush steps on the line, and it'll stay on that side of the floor. Cornerstone at 10-2 run in their last 2:43, 4 for their last 5. Shooting the ball. Something else Kyle Stegging said about the Siena Heights team. They got a lot of different pieces. Mora, no. Nichols is there. 27-27. Good start for one Joe Nichols tonight. Sobush eyeing up his options as we get ready to bleed inside of 7 minutes. Levi Schultz a foul. That is first here tonight. Hockey line change here for Siena Heights. Taking a look at our stat breakdown coming up here at halftime. Assistants on the Siena Heights team, Greg Dutton. Landon Bauman, graduate assistant for the Saints. Wilson, an open look, and he bangs it home. His first of the game tonight. Bird into the front court, takes it on a drive. Mitty will go despite the pressure. Levi Schultz trying to take that one away. Instead, Wilson, as they flip it to the opposite end. Breakneck speed to this game so far. Tester